I'm Ray Waters and welcome to City Limits. Last year we took a ride up in a KC-135 in preparation for the air show at Edwards Air Force Base, and this year we're doing the same thing. The Edwards show is scheduled for October 21st. You're seeing this after the fact, and quite a sound there. We're going to, that sounded like somebody broke the sound barrier. Anyway, we're going to be going up in the KC-135 and refueling an F-15, F-16, a B-1, and a B-52. We will also be refueling the F-22 Raptor. My cameraman Bud and I will get to see it, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to put it on camera. So stay with us as City Limits continues.
Black cord that takes the oxygen from the bottle to this tube, into the bag, up to the mask. And just like the airliner, put it around your nose and mouth and adjust it with these little green tabs. But a couple of words of advice. Don't squish it, because you'll cut off your oxygen. So if you think you're going to get more oxygen, it's not going to work. Second thing, this bag does not inflate like a balloon. As a matter of fact, it won't get much puffier than it is right now. So don't think that it didn't work, okay? It did. The way you're going to activate it, you're going to take this little green apple, we call it, green wood knob. It's going to pull it out, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. It opens up the valve inside here, and you'll feel a soft, gentle flow of oxygen. It will not be strong. So don't think that it's not working when the bag doesn't inflate and you don't feel a strong push of air. As long as you know that it's on your face, you know it's working, okay? And then what will happen is the flight crew will get the airplane to a point where we don't need these anymore, and then we'll, once you're cleared by a crew member to take them off, go ahead and take them off, and you can figure out how to stuff it back in this little pouch so keep yourself busy while we land. But the best thing for you to do is just keep it on your person like that, and you're golden, okay? Let me tell you how we're going to get out of here if we have an emergency. Most of y'all are going to be right here. We have 2 over wing hatches that we're going to use. The handle, you can tell that pulls in, so one of the crew members will pull it in, you go out onto the wing, and you walk backwards. Because the flaps will be down, you can just slide off the back, and you won't have to worry about jumping or anything like that. Meet up together, and we'll get a head count. I know your stuff is important to you, but you need to leave everything on the plane and just get out, okay? And then we'll get to stuff later. If we can't use the upper wing hatches, we're going to go up into the cockpit, and there's a crew entry chute. It's a straight ladder that you might have seen when you came up to the airplane. We're going to go down the ladder. I'm going to tie the ladder down on top of this utility ladder when we get ready for takeoff. That's the ladder that we're going to use. So obviously, you're not going to go down until I go down first, okay, and get the ladder set up for you. If the ladder is not in place and we have to abandon the aircraft, you're going to see a rope in that crew entry chute. We're going to use the rope. We don't really want to use that. We don't have to. The last thing we're going to do is back there by the orange piece of equipment along the side back wall is a hatch with a rack, slide rack, like an airline. It'll inflate pneumatically. It'll slide down that thing. We'll use that if the overwing hatches, the front hatch, or whatever the situation warrants. We'll use those to get out. Okay. Some very important equipment is the latrine. It's right up here on this bulkhead.
That is important.
That is very important. For the men, it's a stand-up urinal, and there is a like a.
Okay, we're rolling, I see. Okay, Mark, I don't know if you saw, but, well, yeah, you did see, where the captain's got his hands on the throttle. That's the takeoff roll and all that. Now, that's, I think at that point, I'm going to, what I think I'll do is, I think I'll just say, okay, we're in flight right now. We'll just do it this way. Okay, I'm going to start. And again, good evening and welcome to City Limits. Mark, wait a minute. Tell you what, why don't we go into the takeoff roll just right after the titles, where he's got the hands on the mic. Do it that way, and then I'm going to come, and then just fade into me here on the airplane. I guess that'll work. Again, good evening. I'm Ray Watterson, and welcome back to City Limits. We are now in the air. We just left the ground about 5 minutes ago from Edwards Air Force Base. We've got a few folks with us today, not too many. From a lot of them from KCEL Radio in Cal City. Matter of fact, we're going to talk to somebody in a little bit, folks. If you ever listen on KLOA Sunday afternoon and you hear Warren Guest, well, his son Charlie Warren is with us on this flight also. We've been told that we will not be refueling a B-52 today. The B-52 canceled out on us, but we will be seeing the F-15 and the F-16. The F-22 Raptor we are not allowed to photograph, so we'll get to see it while we're on the airplane, but you won't see it here on the program. We're going to be talking also a little bit to Dave Francie, Tech Sergeant. We were with him last year. We'll be talking to the Master Sergeant as well. And all in all, looks like it's going to be a pretty good trip. We had planned on being up in the air for about 6 hours, but we don't know if it's going to be quite that long. Again, why are we on the trip? Well, boy, I'm sure feeling a little pressure here, the cabin pressure. The reason we are on the trip is that this is Wednesday, October 18th, I believe. Yeah. And this is in preparation for the annual Edwards Air Show that is held the 21st of this month, of which that's already passed. I hope a lot of you were able to come out to see it. And a lot of what we're doing is supporting some of the aircraft that are in the air, and we'll be doing a lot of refueling. We were told we're really not going to be leaving the area. It'll be much like what we did last year, doing a little bit of, I guess it's called a racetrack pattern. So it's going to be a lot of exciting times, and a lot of times we're going to be sitting around not doing much of anything. If you can take a look at the seats of the airplane, and if I can get my cameraman Bud to turn to his left a little bit, these aren't exactly what you find as comfortable on an airliner, but they do pretty well for takeoff and landing. All right, cut. Just go ahead. Okay, you're rolling. I'm going to go ahead and start right now. Can you hear me okay? Pretty clear? All right, fine. And 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. While we're waiting for some aircraft to come up, we're going to kind of roaming around here, and who do I find? Well, before I give his name out, if you all listen on Sunday afternoons, you listen to the Guest House with Warren Guest. Does he look familiar? This is Charlie Warren, Warren's son, joining me. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ray. Having a real good time up here, you know, and all I can say is, Dad, you're missing a lot of fun. We're having a good time so far.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Well, you're down at what station?
I work out at KCEL 106.9 FM in California City. We are the High Desert Energy Line, and as well as KLOA does the country music, we do the full variety.
There you go. You ever been up in this one before?
No, I can't say that I have. Back when I was in the military, I used to tow these things. Drove a truck the size of your bathroom, but I never had a chance to fly in one, so this is a real treat for me.
This is kind of exciting, a little bit different than flying as a passenger in an airliner. First of all, those seats are just tad different. How did you like that? I sat up in the cockpit for takeoff. How was that on takeoff?
Well, it wasn't actually too bad. You start to lean a little bit when the plane starts to leave the ground, but other than that, it was actually quite a comfortable ride.
Well, not too bad. You've been down to talk to the boomer yet?
I'm getting ready to go down there right now. If I can get my partner out of the bench, I'm going to go down and check things out.
There you go. Check it out. Well, we should be seeing some more shots. Like I said, they canceled the B-52, so we won't be up in the air quite as long. Okay, there's the energy company right down there, Luz. That's what I recognize. Those are the mirrors.
Yep.
And there's one, let's see, that's 58 and 395.
Yeah, 395.
395 and 58. And folks, that's where we are right now. How high? Oh, by the way, we got to introduce, we're talking to Tech Sergeant Dave Francie. How high are we doing, Dave? How high are we going?
Right now we're at 20,000 feet.
20,000 feet. Okay. All right. Well, you may remember this from last year. We got the same gentleman down here. I got to get in the position here a little bit. And this is where, you recall, this is where the boomer sits. Matter of fact, I'm sitting in the boomers. What parts of the world have you been in all the years you've been flying?
Well, it's easier to say what parts I haven't been. I haven't been to Australia yet, and I haven't been to Russia or China, but pretty much all places in between I have been.
Good. Looks like we're making a turn right now. Are we doing sort of a racetrack type pattern? It seems like we're just kind of turning in left turns.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The tanker is established in an orbit, which does look like a racetrack or an oval, and it's standard procedure to turn left, so everybody knows which way you're going to be turning. And at this particular pattern, when we get next to Barstow, we start our turn back to the west, and then we'll head over at Cal City, and we'll start to turn back to the east.
And folks, there's some, I don't know if you can see down, point the camera down, there's a beautiful color down there in our desert. I'm not exactly sure what area this is, but it's a beautiful color down there. What's this look like to you?
Well, we're just north of Barstow.
Okay, north of Barstow. Okay, now right in the distance, I'm trying to... North of Barstow, all right.
We got an F-16 that might be coming up for some contacts.
Oh, about when?
Right now.
Oh dear, okay, means I better give you some space here. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to kind of relax and lay down here for a while. Our boom operator just left. He has to go back and check up the pilot. We have an F-16 that's coming in for a contact, so we're gonna get a shot of it in just a little bit. Let's run that again. All right, we got an F-16 that's coming up here for contact right now. So our boomer just left, and you know, this is kind of a relaxing place to take a nap, I guess, if you really wanted to. But we're going to get some shots of the aircraft in just a little bit. Cut.
think that's pretty good. I'm doing a close-up on the cockpit. If he waves, I can see him. Can he wave? Tell him to wave. I got a close-up of the cockpit.
There we go. That's perfect.
Tell him to say hi. Tell him to put his hand up.